Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest of the afternoon is my good friend, Bostin Loyd. What's up?
What's up, Dave?
What happened to 98% natural? Now you're 100% natural?
Yeah, I'm all natty now. I'm only on the 6 cc a day regimen now.
I got you. Now you had a big announcement the other day. You haven't been putting up a lot of YouTube videos, but you put up a huge 40-minute YouTube video, and you even teased it the day before, and you said that you had a big announcement to make. And what I listened to the video. The big announcement, at least that I took home from what you said was, and I got to be honest with you, I didn't listen to the whole 40 minutes. I skimmed through it. I listened to probably about 30 minutes of it. The big announcement is that you're not doing crazy cycles anymore. You don't believe in crazy cycles. You think that there's a certain threshold amount of gear you should use, and that you shouldn't really go beyond that. It's unnecessary, which I've been telling you for, 8 years now?
Yeah, obviously certain drugs work better when raised, but at a certain point, you get to the point where it doesn't work anymore. And, even though people criticize me, I've always said that this is an experiment. I do not recommend these dosages to my clients and all that stuff. And honestly, the cycles that I recommend are very close to what you had me do back in 2012 when I did that, 1-year steroid transformation. And a lot of people, are going to criticize me. And yeah, I've gotten, blown out my ulnar nerve and this and that, but I feel pretty good. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't feel draggy, and I sent you my blood work. You were actually surprised, how good it was for what I was running. And like you said, there's a lot of underdose stuff in America, and I always said, hey, if it's going to be underdose, I'm going to take a shitload more. And at this point in time, in my bodybuilding, and when I say bodybuilding, not competitive bodybuilding, but just my personal progress, running all that did not equate to more muscle, and I just don't have the genetics, to go far in bodybuilding. So why push it? You know what I mean? Why push it and waste money? Especially when I'm, trying to start a family, and I know you're having another kid on the way, so you could probably relate to that.
When did you come to this revelation? I mean, because obviously you didn't have that 6 months ago. That revelation didn't ring true to you. Now all of a sudden you had this revelation. Some event always precipitates a revelation like that.
Well, it was always in my head for the last, probably after my show. I really wanted to push the drugs because I had saved up a lot of money. Me and Ariel had just gotten back at the time, but I was still living by myself. I really, for 1 year, wanted to experiment with crazy high GH and crazy high cycles to see what it would do. And you know me, my nutrition, I mean, I don't eat that much junk. And when I do, it's every once in a while, and I'll splurge. But other than that, my diet's pretty clean. So I just wanted to see what exactly it would do to my body. And it turned out horrible, honestly. I just wasted a ton of money. Your body can only grow at a certain rate. More drugs is not going to create more muscle mass. So as a genetic standpoint, your body's, only going to grow as much as your body's going to let it grow. And you know that, I know that, everyone knows that. So it was just an experiment, honestly. But I've learned so much over the years over personal experimentation that I can't even be upset with it. You know what I mean? It's not like I regret any of it. It's kind of sad how much money I've spent on fake shit and all this, stuff I've been putting in my body. But I mean, it is what it is, and I'm here now, and I'm definitely going to start practicing what I preach. I wrote out my whole new protocol yesterday, and it took me about an hour and a half, and I'm fully, switched over to what I know works. And Dave, when I prepped for my show, I mean, last year I was 240 when I weighed in, 238, and that was the best I ever looked, and that was supposed to be a warm-up show, but I cut it after that. And when I prep for shows, I practice what I preach. Just like you know how the last couple of weeks you'll go from trend every other day to trend every day, certain stuff like that. I always practice what I preach. Our cycles are pretty similar, except you'll cut EQ out. I'll keep EQ in as long as I can, and stuff like that. And a lot of people cut the growth hormone out prior to a show, but you always told me to keep it in, and I've always kept it in, and I've always stayed full doing so. I don't know why people cut drugs when they look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when you say to yourself, because you kind of stick to a similar diet to when we worked together when you were young, and I gave you the drug talk many times, and it's funny how after all these years, you're back to exactly what I told you to do 5 years ago, but you had to like do it the hard way. You say to yourself, man, I could have saved all, you know how much money I would have in the bank right now if I just listened to Dave right from the beginning?
You could say that too, but if I didn't experiment, Dave, I probably wouldn't have the business I have right now.
That's true. All right, I'll give you that.
You know, I mean, my training, before my Instagram got shut down, my training business is through the roof because people trust me, Dave. Like, they don't trust other trainers to tell them, you know, what to run because, I mean, I've seen these cycles, Dave, and in like bodybuilders taking 300 mgs a test, 200 mgs a deca a week, like. I mean, you and me both know those are not optimal doses.
No.
You know what I mean? Those are just doses that coaches are going to give out just because, oh, here's a drug cycle. You know, here, run this. Right. And they don't care about the chemistry or they're afraid that, you know, it's going to come back and haunt them or whatever it is. But you've always been super honest with me. My cycle right now that I just started is I know for 100% fact you would 100% approve of it. And I mean, you would definitely be happy.
What is it?
I'm taking.
What is it?
Okay, so right now I just started to 250 mgs of test E every other day, 100 mgs of test prop every other day. So that's 350 mgs of test every other day, which you recommended in like a couple cycles in. So that's about what 1,200 mgs of test a week. I'm doing 200 mgs of Primo every other day. I'm doing 100 mgs of Tren every other day. Right. I'm doing 60 mgs of injectable Anavar every other day. Mm-hmm. And then I'm doing 50 mgs of oral Anavar. And then I'm doing also 30 mgs of Epistane every day, which Epistane is very close to like a Winstrol.
Mm-hmm. So that's a very big cycle. I mean, even though you're not using excessive dosages, it's still a big cycle. Are you getting ready for something or are you done competing? Because I know you've heard this. I've heard you say this a million times.
I'm done competing, but I'm doing a photo shoot and a documentary kind of type stuff. I'm talking about the fitness industry, why I got out. I'm going to do like a day in life. My mom just moved to Florida, so I'm going to have her in the video.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to shoot some cool footage at the end of the month. And I'm not getting ready for anything or anything like that, but yeah, I'm running hardening compounds because I do want to look good on video. So after that, and I always change my cycles every 6 weeks. After that, I'll run something like test, NPP, EQ, and that's it. And I know you approve of like, you know, certain stuff like that. Yeah. But the only reason why I'm on a few hardeners at the same time is because I am going to be on camera in about 3.5 weeks.
I got you. Now I know you also want to start a family. So when are you going to go off the drugs so that you can get your fiance pregnant?
I know you probably don't agree with this, but I'm going to try the Mike Arnold protocol that he gave me. It's worked for so many people. In fact, when I posted that what I'm doing, a lot of people were like, yep, knock my wife up the first month. Yeah. People that I talked to have knocked their girls up the first month. Ariella is taking Clomid day 3 to day 8.
Not smart. Not smart.
We're trying for triplets, Dave.
Why? Are you crazy?
So she's doing Clomid day 3 to day 8, and I'm doing 5,000 IUs of HCG 3 times a week, and I'm doing 75 IUs of HMG 3 times a week, right. And we're going to hope for that. I will try that for about 6 months. If that doesn't work, I will come completely off, and I will do your baby making protocol. But I'm pretty sure we will have luck with this.
Well, I mean, you're doing the baby making protocol. That's my baby making protocol. You know, with the addition of Clomid, I tell people to go off the anabolics because the anabolics suppress.
Clomid would pretty much be pointless if I was on gear. Wouldn't you agree?
No, because it blocks what Clomid does is it's an estrogen receptor blocker. It blocks the estrogen receptors in the hypothalamus in the brain, which is estrogen is what turns off the pituitary from releasing LH and FSH. So if you block those receptors, the FSH and LH will still be produced, and that will stimulate directly your testicles. Because the key is producing testosterone and sperm in the testicles. So the HCG and HMG is going to do that. The Clomid will facilitate your body's natural production of FSH and LH, and it's going to make it much more likely to raise your sperm count. You know, a lot of guys will take HCG and Clomid and they will raise sperm count, but for some reason the motility of the sperm, the swimming ability of it, doesn't increase that much if you don't use the HMG. For me, I was trying.
Your baby making protocol, I don't think has HMG in it.
Oh, it absolutely does. 75 IUs every other day. Where do you think this guy got his protocol from? It's from me. I created the protocol. You know how many guys got pregnant on this protocol?
Never recommended 5,000 IUs of HCG every other day.
I tell people 2,000 every other day. Some people do. I tell every day.
I'm just shooting a full bottle every other day.
Yeah.
It's from China. Who knows? But I mean, like I said, everyone has had success with this that I've talked to. So I'm going to give it a try. And I mean, I'm going to leave the Clomid out for now because I think
Why don't you go to TitanMedicalCenter.com, which is right in your backyard?
I know, John. I've been there.
Okay, so use their HCG. Why would you? What are you, crazy? Don't be cheap. At least you know it's good.
No, Dave. This stuff is good. No, this stuff is good. I have a farm. Why would I spend money at Titan Medical when I can get pharmaceutical grade HCG from Greece?
Okay, well, as long as you know it's good, because sometimes you don't know
this stuff I'm starting with is from China, which I do trust Chinese stuff. I don't trust Americans. So I'm starting with that, and then after that, I'll try the farm. But I don't really think I'll need the Clomid, and if I do, I'll try that. But if I need to come off, I will. I'll do what it takes to knock her up. I mean, you think it's me, and Dave, Ariella's ran some crazy fucking cycles back in the day, too.
But she gets her period, right?
Oh, yeah, regular, every month.
So then she's not a problem. Matter of fact, you're making a huge mistake having her take Clomid because it's not going to make her more fertile. It's just going to cause multiple pregnancies.
Dave, if we have twins, then we will never have to try for kids again.
Now, the problem is that what if you have quadruplets? Now the mortality rate is higher.
Fair. She's only taking it for 5 days when she's on her period.
Doesn't matter. I'm telling you, don't do it. Johnny Styles, you're my witness. I'm on record as telling him not to have her do the Clomid.
Well, hey, if I knock her up, I'll let you know if we have twins. But everyone that I've talked to, the woman does take the Clomid.
You know what? With your luck, you'll have like octuplets, and you'll have a reality show, the two of you, with all 8 babies. That'll be your next career.
With all the HCG and HMG I'm taking?
Yeah.
Who knows? Now, Dave, what would you say the side effects of HCG are? I feel like I'm holding a lot more like water in my face.
Yeah, well, you'll with the dosages you're taking, you're going to aromatize a lot of that new testosterone that you're producing. And,
I'm still staying on my Arimidex, so hopefully that'll.
Also, a lot of people get like, I never affected me. A lot of people get like weird, like very emotional when they take it. The only side effects I had was my testicles were so swollen that it was almost like a little painful. That was about it. So I was happy to have sex every day to try to get the pregnancy.
That's funny.
Going. But you can't masturbate. You know that, Boston, right?
I don't masturbate. No, I don't masturbate.
I heard you do. I heard you're a big masturbator.
Oh, no, I definitely masturbate. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to masturbate when we're trying to kids.
You can't use up the sperm.
But Dave, I'm one of those guys, Dave. I don't know. Ever since a kid, man, I've never had a high sex drive on gear, off gear. I've never been like a horny dude. Like, I've never looked at other women like, oh, I need to see what she looks like naked. Right. Like, I've never been like that. And a lot of people are like, bro, when I get on gear, like, I'm constantly like fucking horny. I need to jack off. I've never been like that ever.
So you never sent dick pics around like some of the other guys?
No, I send them to guys. I don't send them to women.
Why do you send them to guys?
No, I don't send them anymore, Dave. I'm fucking 25 now. I used to send them when I was like 18. Like, check it out, bro.
Now, Lee Priest recently has been very critical of you, especially of the video you just put out. You have any response to that?
Yeah, I mean, Lee's helping me out in a way. I mean, he's bringing people to my name. I feel like at this point, though, that I have a bigger following than fucking Lee Priest. But Lee Priest wants to talk all the shit, and obviously we know he's vertically challenged. So anyone that's vertically challenged is going to be, have those thicker muscle bellies. They're going to be thicker. He was an amazing bodybuilder. He was one of the only short guys that had amazing shape and lines. But there's a reason Lee doesn't post any pictures from the back. He had a weak back, and he never was completely shredded hams, glutes. My conditioning, we could talk about muscle mass, and I'm 6'1". It's going to take me a while to fill out. But we could talk about conditioning, and he can't ever say that I don't diet my ass off when I get ready for shows, because he's never had the level of conditioning that I've had from the back. And a lot of his genetics, like, why can't his back grow? Is it lack of discipline? Is it lack of drugs? No, it's because it's a genetic weak point for him. But no, I mean, Lee Priest he's been on my nutsack for a while now, commenting on everything I do. But I respect everyone's opinion, Dave. Like, Louis Marco made a video, and he was saying that I have probably a lot of health problems, and my kidney's probably failing, and this and that, right. And this and that. And I respect everyone's opinion. They could have their opinion. Me, I don't get offended by that kind of stuff. I laugh at it. It's to me, it's like whatever. And a lot of people would get offended, but I don't know. I just don't really get offended by the internet.
Yeah, but Louis Marco has no no clout in bodybuilding. I mean, he's just an internet guy. He never competed. He doesn't have a pro card. Lee Priest is like a legitimate pro. A lot of people respect him. And, he's calling you basically a fucking idiot, So, I would think that you would at least have an opinion on, what he says.
I commented on his status. I said, thank you. I said, thank you for helping my name out, or thank you. I said, no such thing as bad publicity. I said, thank you with a smiley face. But no, I mean, like I said, Lee Priest, I mean, everyone's going to have their own opinion. Lee Priest probably hasn't even looked at my stage photos. He probably just is like, oh, this kid's 25, pumps a ton of drugs, and he looks the way he does, so-and-so, so-and-so. But usually the haters, I mean, Dave, at 21, when you prepped me, before I had any injuries like my fucking pec tear and my ulnar nerve, I mean, how many kids looked as good as I did at 21? Not many at all.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? So, I mean, I obviously have put in the work and this and that. So, I mean, but if you want to look at my resume, I mean, it's not like I fucking am this bodybuilder that loses every fucking show. You know what I mean?
No, I thought you had a legitimate genetics. I think you just didn't have the head for competing. I think you just liked it more for just like bragging rights or something like that to show off what you've worked on.
I do like Dave. If bodybuilding was still like it was in 2009, 2012, where like it was no men's physique and stuff like that, I love bodybuilding shows. I would go watch them. There's absolutely no interest for me in going to shows. I don't go to shows. I haven't been to one in over 17 months. I just, since my show, I haven't been to one. And to me, it's like, unless like one of my good friends is competing, I'm not going to even go because I can't deal with it, Dave. It's not the same. It's not the same. That's why you don't even cover the shows anymore.
No, I can't. They're very long. That's for sure. Do you think that Lee Priest tells the truth when he talks about the fact that he only used GH twice in his career and that he took such low dosages?
It's possible, Dave. I mean, he's what, 5'1", 5'2". Yeah. He has full muscle bellies. Now, I have seen recent pictures of Lee's arms. If he wants to say that he's never shot any kind of oil in his arms or any kind of synthol or whatever it is, gear to enhance the fullness, his shit looks a little lopsided now. He's definitely putting shit in his arms as of recently. But no, I mean, I honestly think that the genetic elites can get away, because to me, Lee Priest wasn't a freak. He was short and he was super full, but in a shirt, he's next to Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie was going to tower a guy like that. Now, I do think the guys like Dallas McCarver and the freaks these days that are white, I feel like they are pushing the gear. I feel like they 100% are pushing the anabolics.
You're probably right.
Yes.
What about?
I know. So Lee Priest thinks, if Lee Priest thinks that I don't think he's running this and that, honestly, he could have fucking, ran regular cycles and looked that good, because you know what? Everything was real and it wasn't fake back then. So when he did run what he was running, everything was probably dosed. And he wasn't a tall guy. He didn't need to fill out a large frame. So, and he's been training ever since he was like 10 years old. So 100%, there is a good possibility that no, he's not lying. And I don't consider him a liar. When you interview him, he doesn't come off to me as a fucking bullshitter. But Matt Porter is a fucking bullshitter. I know you had him on here. He's a fucking clown, dude.
You think he's lying about what he's doing now?
Oh, Matt Porter, he told you the most he ever did was 50 mgs of Tren every day, right? For a contest prep and the North Americans.
Yeah.
Man, I have programs from him that he's wrote to clients that has him doing 150 mgs of Tren every day.
Wow.
So why would you recommend more drugs to your clients for a fucking local show that you took at a North American? And like Noel Fuller will tell you, Dave, this guy used to push drugs like no other, Dave. I'm not kidding you. So yes, 100%. I know for a fact Porter is a fucking liar. But I mean, come on. He doesn't have great genetics, Dave. He's not, and it's, muscle memory is amazing. So he could put on the muscle with TRT and this and that, but for him to claim that, oh, look at me, you TRT and 38, mgs a bar, look what I look like. It's kind of silly, It's giving a misinterpretation to bodybuilding.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know him personally, but you obviously have some personal experience with him, so I take what you're saying probably at face value. What do you think about the whole Rich Piana fiasco that's going on with the racist tape and all that stuff? Do you think that Rich is a racist?
I talked to Rich on the phone like a week ago. I kind of feel bad for him, honestly, because like, I mean, that's kind of rough. Like, honestly, everyone's fucking racist. Like, I don't care what people say. Everyone said some racist shit.
Yeah.
Like I am a fucking. I mean, you can consider me a racist. Like, if I'm at Sam's Club and I see a black guy with fried chicken and watermelon, I think in my head like this shit's hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if that's racist, everyone thinks that. You know, so I'm racist against white people too. You know, I saw a fucking white redneck druggie at Redbox. I'm like, wow, this fucking guy. I'm so against every race I'm gonna judge. So I mean, and like I said, Dave, his girl was cheating on him with a black guy. He probably just fucking blew up. And I think Piana does have a temper. I've never seen it personally, but he probably does have a temper where I don't have a temper. Now, I think he did bullshit in your video when he says he's never said the N-word since that time 10 years ago. I mean, come on, Dave. I said it probably last week to Ariel. I'm like, hey, you know, whatever. You know, that's bullshit, Dave.
Well, you're
be honest. I just wish he would be honest. Say, look, Dave, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I said, you know, the things I did. I was, she cheated on me with a black guy. What can you say? You know, I blew up, and you know, I went after, you know, because I would probably say something probably similar. I mean, I would probably, daddy long dick or whatever. I would probably go a little crazy, but I'm not a racist at all, Dave. I used the closest thing that I ever had to a brother to me was a black guy. But I mean, we all make like little racist comments, or you could consider them racist, but to me, they're not racist. Everyone thinks everything's racist these days, right? I mean, everything is racist these days. So who knows? To me, racist is if somebody comes to your front door, you open the door, he's a different skin color, and automatically you treat him differently because of his skin color before even saying one word to him. Now, to me, that's racist. But making little silly comments like, oh, Asians can't drive and shit like that, like, to me, that's not racist.
Gotcha. That's just stereotypes.
Correct.
But a lot of them are true, unfortunately. Ask Jimmy Pelletier about the Asian drivers. He'll go.
Yeah, they are true. Every time I see a black guy at Walmart, he has Kool-Aid in his cart. You know what I mean? Like every time every time I almost get in an accident, it's an Asian driver that's about to hit me. But it's true. You're right. Most of the time, it's true.
Right, but that's just stereotypes. Stereotypes are true, but that doesn't. I guess when we talk about racism, we talk about using derogatory, hurtful words.
Oh, see, I've never used derogatory words towards another black male or female. Never like that. But like if somebody, to me, I've always said this. I said there's a difference between a black folk and the N-word. Okay, there's two different people. There's two different actions. You got a ghetto ass, this. And you got a nice black folk, okay? There's two differences. So if you're going to call me a racist for generalizing two different types of black people, fuck it.
Well, Bostin, what's the next step, I guess, in this journey? You're working towards this documentary you're doing. Then where do you go? Do you go off the drugs for a little while and try to get her pregnant if she doesn't get pregnant?
Okay, yeah. So I'll if I have to come off the drugs, I will come off the drugs and take a moment.
Will you be able to handle that mentally, emotionally?
Yeah, Dave, if I have to come off the drugs, I'll come off the drugs. And you know what I'll do? I always tell people, Dave, if you are going under gyno surgery, if you're injured and you can't train to your fullest, if you can't get into the gym, you go directly on a ketogenic diet. Okay, you do 20 minutes of cardio every morning. You stay lean, right? Because you're not exercising. Keto diet, you're not going to have the cravings as a a higher carb, low fat diet. And once you're ready to train and hit it hard, you're going to respond like no other. And you know that once you put carbs back, small increments after a ketogenic diet, you respond insanely and well. So that's what I always do with people that are injured or whatever. I put them on a keto-based diet. You give them one cheat meal a week so they don't go insane. And when they're ready to grow, they're ready to grow. So that's exactly what I'll do. I'll go on a keto diet. I'll get her pregnant if I have to, and I'll go back on. But I will forever, if there's no reason to come off, I will always switch cycles every 6 weeks. And I know you're a big advocate on switching compounds every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, I think you got that from me probably because I think the anabolics, stop working as effectively. Testosterone never stops working, but the anabolics do. And so it's
like you said, if you have a contest guy, doing a show in 8 weeks and then in 12 weeks, you keep him on the trend an extra 4 weeks. I believe in that too.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to let you go. We're out of time. I got surgery on Monday right in your backyard there. So I'm hoping that I'm expecting to see you come visit me in the hospital on Tuesday afternoon.
I'm gonna ask you details, and I'm gonna up there.
Because you're right there. You're right by Tampa General. I know you are. You're probably a 20-minute ride. You'll stop by. You'll bring me food for lunch. And because Amanda won't be able to come on Tuesday, she's going to come back on Wednesday and pick me up. So you're going to be my meal source.
Yeah, I'll bring you whatever you want. Let me know what you want.
Deal.
I'll bring you. I don't even know. What do you eat these days? Dave, actually, my last question to you: what's your diet consist of these days? Because you look very, very lean.
Yeah, I eat a lot more carbs than most people would think because I only eat like 2 meals a day, and I forage during the day on fruit and stuff like that because I'm into like health and nutrition. I eat like eggs in the morning usually. Or I'll have Chinese food. Sometimes I don't eat my first meal until 11 o'clock. I'll get Chinese food, chicken and broccoli, and I get some vegetable rice soup. And
do you miss being big, Dave?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah, because you know what you're going to find? When you hit your 40s, you're going to say to yourself, man, I actually want to live a long time. And then you start getting nervous because things don't heal up as quickly. Blood work isn't as good. Your blood pressure goes up naturally as you get older. So your strategy changes. You're in your 20s now. You're invincible.
You're on TRT, right? Because when I decide that I'm done, I will definitely stay on TRT.
I haven't been on any ever since I got my Amanda pregnant with Logan, and then we got the second bite. I haven't gone back on yet. So
how are your natural test levels?
Yeah, you know what? You're gonna hate me, but they're pretty damn good. They're like 600. So
wow.
I got lucky.
Dave, my dad's were like at 200.
Yeah, my testosterone turned back on. I got lucky, and I think I just genetically have naturally high testosterone levels. That's why I was a decent natural bodybuilder for a while there. And but it is what it is. I think the testosterone replacement is excellent, and I think if you need it, you should take it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad for your health. I think that it's all blown out of proportion. So if you have to stay on testosterone the rest of your life, who cares? You're just taking a replacement dose. You're not going to get side effects from it. So it's all good. But anyway, we'll see Boston in Tuesday at Tampa General, visiting me, bringing me my lunch. For now that we're out of time, this is the end of another...
I'll be bringing Ariella with me probably too, possibly.
Oh, that would be great. And bring the video camera. We'll do a little video. And you could catch me at my worst. I bought a do-rag. Remember the old Mike Christian, Lee Haney do-rags I used to wear?
Yes.
I bought one, so I don't have to do my hair in the hospital because I only have one arm because I'm gonna have one arm in a sling. So I'm gonna wear I'm gonna look like Mike Christian, the Iron Warrior, in the hospital. You can take pictures.
Sounds good. I'll see you Tuesday. I'll get the information from you.
All right, that's gonna take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we'll see you next time.